Okay, let's talk about artist expectations from self and what we're doing and where we're going and how this is working. Before an artist can expect to be working with others in the music industry, a true self-evaluation might be in order. Other musicians, for example, may not be eager to work with someone with no stage experience or recording experience. Many artists get frustrated with fellow band members, and many times other band members get frustrated with the artist. It happens. Either way, a true, honest evaluation of oneself is essential to discovering if the artist is really cut out to be in this business in the first place. It certainly is not for the weak of heart. Beginning artists will be put down more times than they can count. They hear the word no a lot. There are plenty of hopeful wannabes everywhere, and in the music industry, everyone thinks they're a star. There used to be a band on every street corner, but now I think there's more like two. In my opinion, these wannabes are just clogging up the pipeline for true artists. Confidence is great, but delusion can be a catastrophe. So if you're interested in becoming a full-time artist, whether you're making enough income to survive and to possibly support a family and or children, ask yourself these questions. What do you like best about your role or potential role in the music industry? And what do you like least? These are your own opinions. I'm not asking you. What critical abilities does your role require? To what extent do you fulfill them? What do you expect to be doing 5 years from now? What are your specific accomplishments in the past year that will aid you in being successful in the music industry? Which goals or objectives did you fall short of meeting in the last year? How could you do a better job? Is there anything that hinders your creativity and effectiveness? What changes would improve your performance? How could you become more productive? Do you need more experience or training in any aspect of your musical goals? And where could you get that training? What new standards and goals or objectives should be established for the next evaluation period? Which old goals need to be modified or deleted? Was feedback provided from peers or fans on your work performance throughout the year? Do you see yourself performing on stage in 50 years? Although many collaborators won't be working with beginning artists, it's a good idea for artists to know what to expect when they are ready to start working with collaborators. Somewhere along the way in an artist's musical life comes a moment when they think about what they want to do or who they want to be as a musician. The possibilities of various ways to participate in the music business are almost infinite and sometimes overwhelming. Some artists are interested in being a studio musician as a session player. Many artists are interested in touring. Perhaps some artists play acoustic guitar but feel there's an electric guitar beast inside of them. Maybe the artist plays drums in a jazz band but is secretly swept away by those progressive rock musicians. The artist may sing, write, play guitar, but many may want to learn another instrument. Most people who enter the music industry want to make a living out of it and pursue a career with their art. There are just so many choices. An artist can be a songwriter or a singer-songwriter or a rhythm guitar player or a lead player or a music producer, a session player, an instrument instructor, a street musician. All these are possibilities. They may play in cover bands, performing at coffee houses, weddings, bars, small venues. Doesn't matter. They're all artists. And then there are those that play different styles: blues, rock, jazz, hip hop, easy listening, alternative, country, classical. Isn't it great? Well, it doesn't make it any easier. And as you'll see, many artists wear more than one hat at any one time. And that's good, and it's also not so good. How can a songwriter continue working his or her craft if they constantly have to do other duties within the industry? And I think about it like this: I'm a songwriter, and when I'm not writing and I'm doing business, that means I'm taking away from my songwriting. If I'm not practicing my craft, then I'm doing something else, and that means I'm taking away from my development of my craft. Here's just some jobs in the industry that you might want to consider: being an accompanist or associate producer, maybe a backup singer or composer, lighting, makeup, conductor. I mean, there's just bunches and bunches of jobs in this industry. But what's expected? There are many artists who are musicians as well as songwriters, as well as arrangers, as well as performers, as well as entertainers, as well as producers, as well as bookers. The list goes on and on and on. So here's some self-evaluation questions to help you figure out your purpose as a musician, entertainer, artist, music business professional. You may think about the answers, but if you write them down, it will solidify in your subconscious faster. So write down your answers and get to know yourself better. Now, I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but I believe it's in the books as well. What kind of music do you listen to most? What styles of music get you excited and makes you feel alive? What things are you naturally good at? What instrument are you playing and or would you like to learn? What would you regret not having done before you turn 80 years old? What musician, songwriter, performer inspires you the most? Describe what kind of person you are. And what's your favorite thing to do? What kind of musician do you think you most likely are? What would you teach if you had to? Do you like to be the center of attention? Are you a leader? Would you like to play in a band, an orchestra, or maybe only on your own? Are you a social person? Are you passionate, devoted, persistent, and committed? What values matter most to you? And what makes you happy? And what doesn't make you happy? What does success mean to you? It's different for everybody. What would you like to share to the world? And what makes you lose track of time? How do you feel about living in a van while touring? And how do you feel about sleeping on a fan's floor because they offered you a place to stay? Okay, in the first examples, when we talk about expectations, we talk about many aspects of the development of the artist. Now apply each of these to yourself. Content. Are you a content provider? Are you a lyricist? Are you good at creating new melodies? All right, that's it for that presentation. We'll talk about artist development. Questions?